Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. How y'all doing? I wanted to play a bit of music. Oh my goodness. I am all over the place. I'll get it one day, guys. One day, one day. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to another episode of the podcast, The Poly Pimps. We are here tonight for another great episode. So, from time to time, I will be looking sideways because tonight, for the first time, I am going live on TikTok. And I guess I need to silence my phone too. I am going live on TikTok. So, catch us from anywhere: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We are trying to be everywhere. My name is Mitu. For those who don't know me, my name is Mitu Charles, and we are here to talk everything non monogamy, relationship, polyamory, sex, sexual health, all of it. So, um, tonight we're going to have a couple of guests with us in a little bit. But before um, before we get into it, welcome back. Welcome back, where we talk. This is an episode where we talk about pleasure, desire, and the things that y'all pretend don't keep you up at night. Now, tonight I'm asking a question that might disturb your spirit just a little bit. If sex was off the table, how many of your current partners, lovers, connections, or situationships would still be in your life? And don't answer too fast because some of y'all are about to realize you're not in relationships. You're in deluxe membership programs with physical perks. Just sit with it. Let's talk about it. Sex is powerful. It bonds, it heals, it distracts, it convinces, it romanticizes, it fogs the truth. And sometimes it covers what isn't actually there. Because tell me this, if you took the physical element away, the late night link ups, the come over texts, the hunger, the chemistry, who would still call you? Who would still check on you? And who would still want to sit in the same room and just exist with you? Some connections are built on intimacy and others are built on access. And baby, access expires. So tonight we have a couple of guests coming in. I am going to bring in uh, two of our guests. Oh, we're supposed to have like three people on here. Um, if you can hear us, you can come back. Oh, okay. Hey, Chuck. And we have Jay. Welcome to the Poly Pimp. Welcome, guys. Hello, hello, Miss Sunshine. How are you guys doing tonight?
I am exhausted. I'm
Um,
so tired, but I'm here.
thank
I
you.
had to set my alarm, but I'm here.
Yes, thank you so much. I know you made
Yeah,
the sacrifice.
I'm
Welcome.
about to start cooking. Just
Uh-oh.
starting to cook.
So you're gonna cook us something while we're talking.
Yes. So I'll be here.
Okay, thanks, Sandy. Um,
Absolutely.
Welcome to the podcast. We are going to talk about connection, desires, if sex was off the table. But before we jump into it, um, I am going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Chuck, since you're on, I will let you go first, and then one of the other ladies can come on whenever they're ready. Chuck, can you hear me?
You said you want me to start?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, just briefly, I am Chuck, the founder and sex educator for the science of sex and sexuality. I like talking about the various aspects, the various, um, I guess you would say, cerebral versions or cerebral aspects of sex. What drew me to your question was not just how you what you asked, but how you posed it, because we talk about sex in a different way, and we'll get into that when we get into it, um, when we get further into the discussion. But it just drew to what I'm doing in that area, and as a former podcast host and wanting to get people to understand and to talk more about sex, I just wanted to say thank you to you first of all for having this, and I just hope that we give somebody a voice out there and that they get the courage to speak their truth after tonight.
Thank you so much, Chuck. Welcome back. Welcome again to the show. I'm going to see who wants to go first. Jay, are you there? Jay? Um, oh, Sandy, are you there? Okay. Okay. Oh, I think, okay, let me remove this one.
I am. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. My mommy to be, well, mommy wants some sparkling apple juice.
Oh,
So
let's,
I am in service. I'm listening. I'm here,
all
and I'm
right.
gonna come back. Let me serve
Okay.
my baby some fake alcohol.
All right, sounds good. And in the meantime, we'll have Jay come on and introduce herself. Hey, beautiful. I love your glasses. They are gorgeous and super fitting. Can you hear us? No. Can you hear us?
Yes.
No.
And
Jamila?
while she's getting it together, I
Okay.
can
Can
go.
you all hear me?
Oh, now we can hear you.
Okay, okay. I'm here.
All right.
Okay.
You can go ahead,
Um.
Sandy.
Okay. So yeah, Sandy, affectionately known as Sunshine, Goddess Sunshine. This thing, I'm like the idea, the topic really attracted me because it is my life. So I'm excited about that. And then who I am and what I do. I am a healer. Um, I'm a cuddlist. I'm an end of life doula. I'm a personal concierge, house sitter, dog sitter. I
Okay.
love on people and all of their things. Yeah. So, oh, and I also am a host at the Goddess House, which is a healing space. It is a work, heal, play space, content house for people who are freely connected in community and love to come and network and hang out and do all the juicy, pleasurable things.
Awesome. Thank you for letting us know a little bit about yourselves, but I'm sure the audience will find out a little bit more in a little bit of time.
Yeah,
Can you hear us,
yes, they
Jay?
can.
All right. Um, can you introduce yourselves for us, Jay? Can you hear us? No. I think we're still having some technical difficulties on Jay's end. Um, so we're gonna keep moving. We'll start the conversation and then she can join us later. So, again, tonight's topic is if sex was take the sex away, who's still here? If sex was off the table, who would still be in your life? Um, so, well, I don't know who wants to go first. And so tonight's conversation is really pretty much we have a couple of people saying hi. Hey, Sleepy, thank you for joining us. He says friends and cheap connection. Okay. That's a way to see it. But I've heard people say, well, if there's no sex, it's not a relationship, it's just a friendship. And I would like to know, what do you guys think um about, those kind of approaches?
Me too. Can I go ahead and start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, as I alluded to earlier, your inquiry, what really drew me was you weren't asking about who you're attracted to. You were
Mm,
asking about how your experience. So we're talking about sexuality, and every
mm,
time we use the word sexuality, people think you're talking about heterosexual or lesbian or gay or bisexual or pansexual or queer. We're not talking about those other four terms, and so one of the terms that I've heard, and I'm going to go through four of them, but one of the terms that I've heard is this megasexual. And, everybody on social media talks about megasexual, but from a, how can I say, a clinical perspective, megasexual really doesn't mean it's almost like that 6'7". It doesn't really mean anything. It's not a formal definition for it if you ask from a clinical perspective. Now, can megasexual mean something? Yes, but it's less clearly defined when we say that. And so when we say megasexual, are we really talking about someone's need for sex or their desire to engage in sex? But it may also refer to the intensity of how they feel towards one person. So you can be megasexual and just be megasexual and or what we used to say horny out there, just after everybody, or you may be megasexual for one person. That one person may do it for you. So we got to talk about megasexual, and then we have to go onto the spectrum of asexuality, where there are people that, for whatever reason, medically, physiologically, psychologically, they are not. They just don't desire sex. And then there's a spectrum of that where you go from allosexual to where you are attracted to someone, which is the opposite of asexual, where you do have that attraction. And then you have demisexuality, where you say, I have to have something deeper. And when we say all of that, we have to give credence to everybody: the megasexual, the allosexual, the demisexual, the asexual. So, what really needs to occur before anything is it doesn't have to be with a licensed clinical therapist, even though I ask people to always try to elicit some kind of professional help with that, is to learn how to communicate with your partner, because it can be different depending on who your partner is. And that's for those people that may not be just for the monogamous. If you're, ethically non-monogamous, or if you're poly, it may look different than if you're monogamous. So I always tell people to have some tools. It may not be you go and see a therapist. It might be getting a book that might help you and that partner guide your way through how you're going to talk about your sexuality. And it's not who you're attracted to, but how you experience attraction when you're talking about this particular topic that you went on.
Yeah, I agree. Jamila, can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you
All
hear me?
right. Welcome, Jay.
Listen.
We're gonna go for a quick introduction because we started talking about it already. But
Right,
if
right.
you can quickly introduce yourself and then give your take on the topic.
Okay, well, my name is Jay Magic Beast Clark. I am a life coach for the last 10 years. I retired from being a beautician for 30 years. I have been in the polyamorous world for 20 years. Um, Married with 5 partners, um, most long distance, but 5 partners. And I was very attracted to this topic because Chuck was kind of laying on some of those things. I personally am bisexual, demisexual, all the things, but I have found in transitioning out of relationships, um, for me personally, um, I think that it is quite possible to, correction, let me say it this way, it's necessary to like a person before you love a person. And most people are like, no, love is the, no, 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 no. You might, because I don't like my husband every day, but I absolutely love him all the time. um, if you like a person, you can get through and adjust certain things. um, Liking a person does not mean that I want to have sex with that person. So I like my husband first. I know that we will be friends always, and that is what transfers into love. So, yeah, this conversation was definitely intriguing to me because I have kind of experienced a little bit of all of that.
Okay, that sounds really good. Thank you for the introduction. Hey, Madison. Madison says hi to every and each one of us in here tonight. I don't know if you guys can see the comments. But before we continue, I will let you guys know also that if you want to pop up, pop in, I will put the link in the comments and you can just click on it, so you can participate in the conversation. Let's see. Uh, oh, sorry. I guess I'll do that a little bit later. Invite guest. Okay, there we go. I will add it to the comment section and you can come in whenever you feel like you would like to share on camera or off camera. So,
Did,
um,
did you hear?
yes,
Can you hear me?
Sunshine, do you have something to say about it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Alrighty. So this literally is my life. My longest relationship, my life partner, she and I have been together now. So this baby is 25, so 24 years. Um, Now we have been platonic for longer than we were romantic and sexual. And it's like dead sex never even happened. And not saying that, it was bad or anything like that. It just it it's not. And we talk about our sex life. But like that's my best friend. And more than that, she is I'm her beneficiary. She is mine. Like we have kids and grandkids. Um, like we have a family. We spend holidays together. It is more than just a friendship. Like all the important things this person is. Um, Also, the importance of the relationship in and of itself. There is more weight. She's my anchor. Um, just like my wife is my anchor, Lonnie. Um, and Sleepy is my husband. Like I'm a relationship anarchist. These people are more than friends. These people are my family. They are the people I rely on. They are my community. They are my tribe. They hold me up. I hold it. Like the reciprocity is so deep. And not everybody is afforded that. Not everybody has access to that. So, yes, relationships that mean partnerships can be sexless because that's not the core, that's not the glue. It's friendship, it's loyalty. I know Sleepy hates that one. Um, you know, things like that, the knowing, my soulmates, those people. So, yeah, no, sex doesn't have to be on the table. That's not what this is with them. But also it can be too. In the flexibility because we are in freely committed connection. That's just what it is. It's gonna be what we say it is, and each of those connections is different. So yeah, absolutely, it can happen. Thank you for letting me share.
You have you, I mean, anybody can jump in and answer, but have you ever confused sexual chemistry with emotional connection?
Absolutely, I have. Have I learned? Absolutely, I have. Were some of those lessons ones that I wish I didn't have the experience? Absolutely. But no, I mean, you get through it. As
And
long as we have breath in our bodies, we can improve our relationships. We can improve ourselves. Like, nah, yeah, yeah.
Go
and to
ahead.
piggyback off Sunshine, I'm gonna, now that I've kind of put it out there, I'm gonna uh, get into some gangster shit with it.
Yeah.
So I and put it on an Atlanta spin on it. Not only have I done that, but I've also vice versa and taken an emotional relationship and confused it with, oh, it's going to be good sex, and then sex ruined, because it was not that. I've done it both ways. I've been like, oh, this is, I and really didn't know anything about the young lady. Just, but I know she had that 5'5", but thought that 5'5" was love. That's not love. That you know what I'm saying? But like you said, was she gonna show up? If was I gonna show up if she had a death in the family, or if she had a crisis? Now it wasn't like that, but I know if she said, "Hey, come pick me up, we finna go," yeah, I was there for that. But was I there for all of the other things that she may need? Did I even know what her favorite color was? What her favorite food is? So yes, I've done it as well as Sunshine, but I've also gotten real deep and thought, oh, that means that we're going to have sexual chemistry, and it's been like, I'm not gonna say it was whack or it was bad. It's just like if you try to, um, you know, put a little Miley Cyrus with a little Michael Jackson, it may not go. It just may not go. You might like them separately, but it just may not go together.
Yeah.
That don't go
I
together.
yeah, I understand. How
What
about
you say?
you?
What you say, Jay? They don't go together.
That don't go together. I'll say, um, from a female perspective, I've done the same thing Chuck's done. I've done some real gangster stuff. and, and it's one of those things. I had a friend maybe some years ago who asked, like, who was your fantasy person or whatever. And I put it out there. Method Man is my fantasy person. But here's the thing. I will not, now that I'm older and I'm wiser, I wouldn't touch them because I want the fantasy to stay in my head. And a
Yeah.
lot of times people don't think about that. Sometimes let the fantasy stay where the fantasy is, because you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna be so in love with this person, and this person is so sexy, and everything's gonna be fire. And then what happens when you disappointed?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna ghost them. You're not gonna call.
Yes.
You know, and
I
and,
totally I
and
totally agree.
yeah, relationships are supposed to be deeper than that. You should be able to talk to people. Like my partners, My partners show up for me outside of
The
sex.
bedroom. Yeah.
Yes, outside of the bedroom, they show up. Two of them showed up when my mother passed. They showed up. That's relationship. That's outside of the bedroom. Those are the kind of things like Sunshine was talking about, being beneficiaries and the like, that those are the things that are the most important when you talk about any type of solid foundation in relationships, from friendships to lovers.
Right. Yeah. Madison says, stay away from assuming what a thing is or will be and stay present to what is. Um,
Yes.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
totally agree.
And
Good
we,
evening,
Sunshine
Cynthia.
and I, were actually at a. It didn't even see how long has that been when we were at that dinner with
With Trey.
did I go out?
Yeah,
Can you
Yeah,
you
you went out.
froze a little bit. We didn't hear the question.
Where was the dinner? Oh, he's frozen.
with Trey when we went to the dinner with Frank
Yeah,
and we
it
talked about
was.
those things
That was
about
earlier this year, I think.
earlier this year, and it was, and we talked about those things like who are those people, like who are you, like who can you build with, who can you make money with, because I'm now at a place now that
Mhm.
um it can be good, but I want to make money with you. I want to be able to go somewhere and not have to worry about when we get back, like if we need to get a new flight out, it's none of that. Like we can build something, and people use that word and people hate that word build, but don't we all want to build? Like, I mean, I get it because the people have bastardized the building, but we do really want to build, correct?
Yeah, but I
No,
mean,
I'm gonna say no.
our people understand. Your people understand that. Like, who is for you? Y'all gonna be on the same page. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Cynthia
no.
wanted to say something.
Um, because there are some people who are complacent and comfortable in the place that they're in, even at 40 and 50 years old. That's not the person for people like me and Chuck. If we're not talking business, we really kind of ain't even talking, because that's who I am.
Right.
Um, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't
Not
make
talking.
sense to be in. I can be an acquaintance of that person. I can't necessarily say that I would be a friend of that person though, because that's not part of my makeup. So, I've watched people and I know people who are very comfortable and complacent in the place and space that they're in. So, what kind of relationship can you build on when you meet a person like that?
Chuck, did you freeze again? Okay, I think he froze again. So I've had many people, and even in the conversation that we started, say, well, if there's no sex, then it's just a friendship, then it's not a relationship. Um, I will share like a couple experiences because I don't believe you need sex for a relationship, but I also don't believe every sexual encounter or something that's going on sexually is gonna really amount to a relationship, because I I guess we could call it a relationship. It's just not a romantic relationship, right? Because I was in a sexual relationship for a few years with somebody. I definitely cared about them, but I didn't have any romantic desires towards that person, right? But for a lot of people, until there's romantic desires, they don't really want to call it relationship, and I don't really understand that part, because to me, our friendship is a relationship, right? We just define it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it just has different parameters. But I also know that I got into relationships because of the sex. And I stayed way longer than I should have because
Past that due date.
right, exactly. Because the sex was great, right? It was like the first time you decided, just like Madison said, be in the moment, right? But the first day, because it was so amazing, the mouth was amazing, the fingers were amazing, the junk was amazing, the body was banging. I mean, everything was like great. So you already like, oh, this is gonna be great, so you want to keep it going because, oh, it's great, I want to keep this, I want to keep feeling great, I want to keep feeling good with this person. um and then you start noticing the red flags, but you're like, I can overlook this part because the sex is amazing, so I'm just gonna stay here for a minute. And before you know it, you in a whole mess, and years later you still kind of like, what am I even doing here? And then you realize you're not even friends with that person, you can't even talk to that person outside of sex, there's nothing to say. And I mean, obviously now I'm a little bit older and hopefully wiser, and I am trying to do better with discernment, uh, trying to decide, okay, because I've also come across somebody where, God, the conversation, luckily he wasn't in the same state when I started talking to him. That's why he didn't get it. But we so we started talking, and the sexual chemistry was off the chart, right? It was so great, we were all excited. We were both excited, and it was so, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. And then I had to pause for a second. I'm like, is this really what you want? So I started asking myself different questions. And by the time I answered those questions, I realized you don't want this. You just want the dick. But you don't need to go there because there's plenty of good ones that you can be friends with. Because when I started looking at
Been
the
there.
and we were not aligned on anything
What
but the way
questions?
that
What
we
questions
sex.
did you ask yourself?
I mean, just even sometimes looking at some posts that that person will make, like the things that he was talking about, I didn't care about, and the things that I wanted to talk about he didn't care about. We were not aligned on so many things. Just the way we view
Mm.
people, the way he talks to people, the way he talks about people. I was like, oh, hell no. This is not somebody that I'm really going to get along with outside of the bedroom. And eventually it wasn't enough for me. So I'm glad nothing started. But this could have been one of the situations where I jumped into it and stayed in it because the sex, I imagine, was going to be bomb because it seemed like it would have been. So, yeah. We have a
I have
Quick
couple.
been there
question.
way too many times.
Yeah.
So
Did you say
I have a
something?
question for the ladies. So at this
Yes.
point, I was saying, in this point in your life, do you um, flip it though? Do you ever can you look past the physical for those deeper things and then have amazing sexual chemistry with that person if they at first don't are not your, because I saw a question just a couple of days ago about, you know you're not my type, but there's something about you. And I think that a lot of people, even though that may not be the right way to say it, that a
Right.
lot of people as they get older fall into that mindset, into that thinking. So I'm saying, do you still say it has to be a balance? I'm asking you ladies that.
I feel. And so it's not that I'm making this decision, oh, this is what I'm going to do. If I don't love you from the beginning, if when we meet, I am not in love with you, and that doesn't even have to do with sex. I'm just not, oh my gosh, I'm like head over heels and you're amazing. It's, yeah, you probably won't even get to that point. Unless, I mean, possibly not, but I feel really, really quick. really deep. And so for me, like, yeah, we get in there and it's great. And then I realized after the fact, nah, that ain't what this is. Before, it used to take me some time because of the feeling. I was feeling really good. But then people show up for who they really are and things change. So now I'm just like, nah, I recognize it, but also I am in love with myself now, and I wasn't before. So this new relationship that I have with me, I'm able to see past the superficial and go deeper because I want deeper. Whereas before, and also I wasn't ready to give deeper, and so it depends on who I was giving it to. So now I do better at recognizing who I'm aligned with and letting people go if we're not aligned. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it was not really an answer. It was I just wanted to know.
Oh.
Jay,
Yeah.
do you want to go ahead and
Um,
chime in on what Chuck
I
asked?
I think I think because we are all 27 forever, um, we have way more discernment. So when you get to it, there is a certain age where you can sit back and say, "Well, let me read the room." Um, I don't. I am one of those people who I will sit and read the room. I sat and read the room tonight before I was even with my technical difficulties. I sat and read the room because I want to feel the energy of the people that I am around. I believe that natural chemistry happens. So I I I feel it has been my experience that I can go and have amazing sex with somebody and never speak to them again at this age.
Mm,
Where when I was in my early 20s, I wanted to hold on, I wanted to cling, and oh my God, this is my person, and I'm gonna marry them. And now nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. What I don't even ask, what are you bringing to the table? What does your table look like? Um, because I find it, for me personally, because I am so demisexual, it is so difficult for me, be it male or female, for me to have a sexual attraction to an individual without knowing what their energy looks like. Are they bringing love to the table to begin with? Just from the standpoint of being a good human being. That's one thing I've always taught my children, and they're adults now. Just be a good motherfucking human being, you know.
yeah,
And so when you start reading a room and really feeling that energy, if you're honest with yourself, you can kind of feel the red flags before you see them.
that is
So yeah, so I guess to answer the question, um, for me, I can see somebody and be attracted to them, and I can see somebody and not be attracted to them. But the person that I'm not necessarily physically attracted to can have the dopest energy, and that's the person I'm gonna gravitate to first.
true. Yeah. And to piggyback on that, Jay, um, that's something similar for me because sometimes I think we all like to think that we have a type, right? But a lot of times it's energy that you're attracted to. Yes, I can see a beautiful person, what we consider, everybody has different aesthetics that they have in mind when it comes to what they're attracted to. So you see the type of body that you would be attracted to usually, and you're like, oh yeah, sparks your interest. And then there's that other person that is not necessarily your type. A lot of times, by the time you start talking to them or connecting with them, then you realize, oh my God, I am crazy in love with this person, or I love this person, or I feel a certain way about this person, even though physically they probably would not have been the type of people that you would go for. So that's why I believe in like the chemistry as well. So it may not have, or maybe you didn't want it to be there, you didn't read it properly the first time that you met this person because you overlooked the physical. So yeah, I mean, for me, I have, I can't even really say that I have a type necessarily anymore, but maybe I do. But I've been with all kinds of different bodies, and if we're just talking just the physical, so in that sense, I don't know that I have a type because it was more like the person's aura, energy, personality, character that kind of drew me to them. And yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question, Chuck.
Right. Once again, I don't have a, I'm not looking for an answer. I just, I want you to, I want your truth to be the answer. What, how you truly feel about it to be the
Yeah,
answer.
we do have a
It was
couple. Go ahead.
it was great being here. I really enjoyed it. I gotta go.
All right. Thank you so much,
Uh,
Sunshine, for popping up. We appreciate you.
Absolutely, my
Have a good
pleasure.
night.
Peace.
Have a good one, Sunshine.
We do have a few comments before we move on. Julian says every single connection is a relationship, and the type of relationship is relative and can be even more relative at all times. Absolutely. Madison.
Can I speak to that?
Yes.
What Julian just said?
Yes.
I keep telling people at this point that I really believe when I am 85, 95, that I'm going to be on a, well, not on a, but I'm going to be on the land in a bunch of, I won't say tiny homes, but smaller homes that going to be
Uh-huh.
circling. And I kind of feel like they're going to be my more, most of the people will be my friends that I've never had a sexual relationship with. Because like Julian is saying, every single connection is a relationship. And it's
Yeah.
those people that show up for you, that I think in my later years, especially uh, that I'm going to want to be around, even when he's asleep and he don't want to get up. When Mr. Richard is asleep, those people will still be around, and they'll excite him in a different way, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, that totally makes sense because again, to go for the people, okay, let me see. Okay, let me remove this one, Jay. Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
that's my husband right there.
Ah, yes.
She didn't even know. You said his whole name, and she still was
You
like, "Who
know
is that guy?"
why?
I know. She's like,
I am continuing to
um,
lose the sound here.
She looking at him too, like she's
period.
like, "Oh, who is he?" He's your husband.
But yeah, so for the people who keep saying that, well, if there's no sex, it's just a friendship. And I'm like, well, but some friends we have sex with, like it's also different. It's a different kind of relationship. I have to say, one of my longest relationship probably, or I've had long, oh, she froze again. I've had long-term relationships where there was no sex involved. Okay, hold on. Let me get her on. Let's remove this one. Hold on. Okay, you're here. Um, yes, there has been very what we would say serious relationships, right? Where there was no sex involved, but those people were like my people. Those are the people who will show up for me, whatever I'm going through, mentally, physically, whatever, they're gonna show up for me. So just because sex wasn't there anymore, that didn't mean that they disappeared. However, you do have the people where once the sex is not there, they're like, peace out because that's all they were interested in. Like we were talking earlier, you don't even know these people. Like if you were to ask them a question about yourself, they would not even know the answer to it. So to me, I believe you can have both. You can have sex without a relationship, and you can have a relationship without sex. I mean, what do you say to the people that medically cannot be sexual anymore or cannot perform sexual acts anymore, right?
I can
Yeah.
answer that.
Yeah. So, I
I
mean,
can
do you
answer
say
that.
it's not a relationship because, the sex is no longer there? So you can go ahead, Jay.
So I have MS,
Mm-hmm.
and with that, a lot of things happen. It is called a snowflake disease for people who are unfamiliar. Multiple sclerosis, and with that, sometimes that sexual desire just is not there. And so when me and my husband started dating and started talking and started, really, really communicating, our relationship was long distance for a month before we got married. So, um, in our maturity, we had nothing left to do but communicate. And when we decided that we were going to continue this journey together in terms of marriage and being in the poly world, um, for me originally, and he checked me on it. Don't get me wrong, he checked me on it. But originally, I was like, I really need you to have another partner because I may not be able to satisfy you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things that, um, a lot of times as women, we feel less than because we can't give our body to somebody, where that is not the basis of a true relationship. He was like, I don't love you because we have bomb sex. I love you because of the person that you are. And when you're dealing with things medically, that's a challenge. And finding that person who's still going to be there and have your back, because I had MS before I met my husband. So he
Right.
knew what he was walking into from the jump. And and for me, that that was really life changing to have a man who genuinely was like, yes, I really do love you, adore you, and love your body, and love all the things that we do, floggers, chains, all the kink, everything, right? But that's not the most important thing to me. And when you start looking at true relationship, those are the things that you're supposed to be looking for. Who's going to be there, to wipe your ass when you can't wipe your own ass?
Right.
That really was life changing for me.
Yeah. I mean, how do you know when somebody genuinely likes you versus just enjoys sleeping with you?
That's all they can talk about. That's all they can talk about. When we gonna hook up again? When we gonna get together? Hey, let's go out to dinner and enjoy ourselves. Okay, after that, I'm finna wear you out, girl.
And see, Jay and I are both Demi, but Jay is a little bit more adventurous with her Demi because if you can stick around by the time to get to me, that's how I know you like me because it's just not it very rarely happens on night one. So one night two, one night 101 or night 102. I'm real methodical, which is a crazy thing.
Mm.
Um, and a lot of have had a partner who, even after being a partner, she was like, and it wasn't anything wrong like that. That's just who I am as a demi person. I want to because when we do, I want it to be, and I want to give you all. And just to be honest, and we don't like to talk about it, but in what I do, it's just a lot out there. So I can't. I want to make sure because if I'm gonna do it, like we said earlier, I have been in Atlanta so long. I have been in Atlanta I'm an ATL, and so if we gonna do it, we
Right.
gonna do it Georgia red clay grinding. So I want to make sure that that I can
Yeah.
freely, you know, like you what you said the mouth and like y'all that stuff you were talking about earlier.
Right. Well,
Yes.
so I know you said you guys are demisexual. What if you truly connected with that person way before you met? Because Jay, you said you were long distance with your husband for like a month before you guys met. So by that point, you have developed some kind of connection,
Hmm.
right? So usually you need that connection to even be attracted to them sexually. Because
I'm gonna
Chuck,
stop you right there. Demi doesn't mean that we are not sex. Doesn't mean that we don't have those feelings and we don't
oh no,
get
I
sexual.
know I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Yes, so you need that connection in order for you to uh, feel that attraction to that person, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
A deeper
For in,
connection, yes.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what if the connection has already been established? Like, let's say you're talking for like 2 months, 3 months, and I'm talking when I say talking, text, phone calls, video chat, and all that stuff. So finally you meet, because you say it's not going to happen on the first meet, Chuck. So, but you've been connected to this person now. You already know you like this person and possibly love this person already. So why wouldn't that happen on the first night that you finally meet them?
So when I said on the first night, I was thinking more so of points like how you connect, not maybe the first time that we see each other, but like say
Oh,
like you saying. So for me, I'm just speaking for me.
okay.
I'm counting all of the interactions because all of them count. And they
Okay.
go into a mental notebook for me. Like, okay, when I did this, or when she found out about this quirk, or she saw this, because a lot of us, have are like not or not your. And I found this with a lot, and maybe it's just me, but I found this with people that are demi that they have certain things like they have little things about them that are just special about them. And so it takes a special part. You're not a lot of times you're not just going for that surface level.
Superficial.
It's
Yeah.
superficial surface level. It's going to be a little deeper. Now, I'm not saying everybody that uses the term as demisexual is going to be some deep motherfucker. Don't get me
Right.
wrong.
Right.
So don't get fooled out there. Don't say well,
Right.
Chuck,
Right.
everybody out there deep as hell. There's some shallow motherfuckers. There's some shallow ones out there. But I'm
Yes.
saying for me, I know I'm taking note of when I said something, how you reacted to it.
Okay.
If we were able to talk, did were you able to understand what I was saying without, and we get it, we all get emotional, but to pull yourself out of it and understand that that sometimes I'm going to be more emotional, but sometimes I'm going to be super, super Mr. Spock logical. And you got to and you got to be able to go with those ebb and flows for me. So I'm taking all of that. So then that first time we meet is not the first time. It is that 103rd time because we've had all of the other things.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you for answering that. We have a question here. Miss Cynthia, she asked, why does having sex dictate a relationship? Can a primal need be met and that's it?
Hell
Most
yeah.
Absolutely.
most
Hell
definitely.
yeah.
I mean,
Most
that's why
definitely.
you have a one night stand, right? That's your primal need, and then just keep moving, right? We can have fun on our birthday trips. Peace out. I never have to see you again, you know.
Right.
Uh,
I don't even call it a one night stand. I call it an introductory interaction. And then
oh,
you didn't sign up for it after that.
I
You
like
just
that.
just
look at
like
you being
Yes, I like that. I like
being
that.
fancy with
Yes.
the words, Chuck. I love it. Say it again. Say it again.
an introductory interaction.
Introductory interaction. That's what I'm
Then,
going to use now.
and then
Introductory.
just like when they give you that free trial after
Yeah.
those after those 30 days.
After
Yes.
130 days.
one time, or are we gonna do a 3 month free trial? I actually made it to like a month, a little bit over a month trial. I didn't even make it to the 2 month trial. I was like, I think we're good here.
And that's okay. That is okay.
It's
And
fine. But you know what? Just like Madison said, just be in the moment. Take it for what it is and just keep it moving. You don't have to like build this big story with everything, because not everything is supposed to last a certain amount of time. Some
mm,
last a day, some last a month, some last a year or years. So we just be in the moment. We have, oh my God, we have so many comments we have not addressed. Um, this topic is complex. Maggie said, this topic is complex and individualized. I'd be curious to hear if sex is off the table, you stay. What drives you to stay? Ooh, I like that, Maggie.
that
Thank you.
is Maggie. You know who that is. That is
Yes,
Maggie.
that is Maggie. Yes, thank you for that question. Um, for me, because I have one of those relationships, we were already friends. You know, we started dating and then things happened, and um it's the intimacy for me. It's the support that I have from that person. This person shows up in ways that make me feel secure, safe, supported, and also our chemistry is very different. So even though there's no sexual interaction, it is a very meaningful and very deep relationship to me. I don't know if you guys have an answer for Maggie.
For me, oftentimes because of my schedule, and everybody knows I got 5 years until retirement. So, and I'm an entrepreneur. So, and I got certain things, and I'm doing this and doing. I got my my irons in a lot of fires. So, a lot of times, sex is off the table just because of scheduling. So, what drives me to stay are those women that put that that check me on my bullshit though, because I sometimes use it. I use my schedule to be within myself. And so what drives me to stay is those other things, those intellectual conversations. And I'm not gonna say I think a lot of men are. It's just not um, presented in the news a lot, but a lot of men love strong women. I don't care what everybody. I know that the thing is right now that men don't like strong women and everything, but I think a lot of us do. And that strength, that intellectual compatibility, that banter, that, like you said, just being as Jay said, just being a good human, that energy, that's what drives me to stay. Sex, I can even good sex. Sometimes I can take it or leave it, especially if my mind is on something else, or I got a deal going on, or I'm moving from, I'm switching from cog and the nonprofit to moving to a real estate deal, or back and forth. So for me, um, it's the person. It's their energy. It's just, let's just put it like this. I'm a north magnet. If you're a south magnet, I'm gonna be attracted to, unless it's just too much distance or it's something, a barrier in between. What happens when you put a north magnet with a south magnet? It's gonna attract, right? Doesn't
Hmm.
matter if you do it, whether you're doing it in a bedroom or you have the magnets in a kitchen or whether you have the magnets in a car, it's still gonna attract. So just because it's not in the bedroom doesn't mean that it's not going to attract. And I'm gonna use that analogy.
I like that. Jay, you got something to say? You want to
So
answer Maggie's question?
I have had very intimate relationships with people that I have never had sex with.
Mm, speak on it.
Um, and it was not, oh, when I see you, this is what I'm gonna do to you. That's not intimacy. Intimacy is being able to communicate with my mind. How are you feeling today? Do you need anything? What's your day entail? I might not talk to you today, but you're concerned about my well being and vice versa. Those are the things
Oh, we lost her. Jay, we lost you if you can hear us. And we have somebody that popped up. E Prince. You want to come on and say something? Welcome to the show. You are muted.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm sorry. I'm kind of in the dark here. Let me get a little light at least. I
hi.
just want to say hi. I was invited by a friend, and I'm just here to listen.
Thank you for being here. But do you
Thank
have
you.
something to say about the
I
topic tonight?
froze.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
And
No.
Okay.
I,
So we're gonna leave you in the background, and you can just wave at us when you're ready.
Thank you. I will do that.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. We have like quite a few comments. Julian said, can they be there without the sex? Can they spend time physically and intimately without sexual touch? Yeah, I think we kind of spoke on that. Um, let your conversation. I'm trying to find where you are. Okay, there she is. Um, hold on, let me remove this one. Kick from studio. Remove from this if you want to. No, not that. Okay. Um, let your conversation turn me on, and we never even be sexually intimate. Give me an intellectual orgasm. Yeah, I like that.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. Analogy.
That was a
Uh,
big thing for us.
yeah.
If I'm to be completely honest, that was a big thing for us.
For
For me
for
and my husband.
Julian, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that
Um,
was a big thing for us because so if I'm to be honest, I was in a what I will call a situationship with the
mhm.
person who introduced us. And it was
Okay.
very intimate. It was not sexual, never touched the person, but it was very intimate. So as time went along, when I met Julian, um, I wasn't paying him no attention because the person that introduced us, that's my person,
Right.
right? So it wasn't one of those things. But as time went along and I got to know him as an individual, and the more we communicated, the more I saw where he was coming from, the more I understood where his goals were, and the man that he was, he actually went to that person and said, "Listen, I'm feeling her, and I want to move forward, but I'm not going to move forward without your blessing." My pussy got so wet.
I was about to ask you what was the moment, but you just told it.
It that was the moment. That was the moment when he was man enough to go to the person that he knew I had a intimate relationship with, because he had respect for that person. I had respect for that person, and we didn't want to. Um,
Step over
I,
his toes
yeah, I don't. I
in a
believe.
sense.
I believe that there is still such a thing as being um not ethical, even though it's not sexual.
Right.
So it was
Mm.
important that we were ethical. Listen, we are feeling each other. And he literally called them on the phone and was like, "Listen, I am feeling her. And this is, and this is how we both felt. If we would have never got that person's blessing, he and I would just be friends.
Ooh, that's a
And
tough
and
one.
we're comfortable with that
Wow.
information. We're
Isn't that
comfortable with
crazy?
that
Him and two
information.
of them married. That's why that's wild. Because you all are
Hmm.
married.
We
Yeah,
are.
I don't know. It's hard for me
Yeah,
to
Matu. I'm
really
with you. Matu, I'm with you on that one. I'm like,
right, 'cause I'm like, so you're telling me my this person could be my person as well, but because this other person doesn't want to give the blessing, which I would think would be selfish on their
because
part,
because
like
the relationship for both me and Julian, the relationship that we had with this person was important enough for us to respect that boundary.
I get it, but at the same time, I would feel like this person doesn't really have my best interest at heart if they're like getting in the way of me finding whatever this other relationship will
Me
be.
too. Sing that Jill Scott. You getting in the way. Sing it. You getting in the way.
You know, like I know I'm not. I will
Right.
not believe that you like. I'm glad the whoever it was gave their blessing, but
Mhm.
if that person did not give the blessing, I would not truly believe that you loved me. Like I would not
I
believe
mean,
in that
I
love because
I
you would.
I think that I may have probably begin to question their care for either of us had they
Right.
not. Had they not. Um, but both of us, you got to know the people that you deal with. You know, Maya Angelou definitely said, when people show you who they are, believe them, right? So
Yeah.
you got to know the people that you have to know the people that you deal with. We knew that, yeah, they're not gonna necessarily feel away in terms of us dating, but the care and respect and intimacy of our relationship, it was important that, okay, so let me not disrupt what was going on, or what was going on with us, and let me make sure that it's not going to break a bond between those two, because they
Right.
have a bond too. um so and we discussed, okay, well, what if they like, nah, okay, we can be friends. And we did talk about, we might have to really look and see what this is about, because we know that person, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, all of that stuff. We both know that person. So we had to really, really talk about what that would all look like. At the end of the day, the world will never know what it would have looked like if they hadn't given their blessing, because they did, and I'm grateful for that. Um, but yeah, it was that was a very intense moment for us, because we knew that we were falling
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Um, we have a we have somebody. Monteith said, physical touch, quality time are my top love languages. However, I'm not highly sexual. Sex can be a big part of a relationship, but its importance varies from person to person. For some, it's a key way to connect and feel intimate, while others, like myself, it's not high on the priority list. Yeah. Definitely I think some people are on that page as well. Um thank you, Maggie. But yeah. So let's see the time. Oh my god. Okay, so we're a little bit over an hour already. This conversation has been so good. Um Julian, you
Part
asked.
two.
I know, right? We're gonna have to come back. Julian, you can come on. We have the link posted in the comments. If you just click on it, you will be
Uh-oh.
able to get in the
You
studio
gonna let him
and
come in here
ask
and tell
your
lies, huh?
question. He said he wants to get on camera and ask his question. We want to give you the chance. I'm gonna post the link again in case you didn't see it. Just click on it and it'll take you straight to the studio. And we are about to get off in a few minutes. Um, so whatever questions you guys have, please come on through. I'm so grateful that you two came on the show. I know it's a late weeknight. Some people have to work in the morning, but I am so grateful that you guys said yes. Are we waiting for Julian to come in? Hmm. Okay.
I don't know. He might be dealing with our teenager.
Okay. Okay. So maybe one last well, maybe one last question. W- would you rather great sex with no connection or emotional intimacy with awkward sex?
Ooh,
I can say the second one because there's a way to make awkward sex good. Especially if you look at everything, like sex doesn't always have to be penetrative. So um, there's a way to get around it, and I think that's an actual. I think people need that awkward sex person in their life at least one time in their life to make you become patient, to make you be to, seriously to make you more patient, and as well as to make you learn more about yourself and what you need, or who knows, that might be a kink of mine. Maybe I don't know, but I'm just saying though. I feel like it'll help you to look within and see and ask those tough like, what about it was awkward? Because I've been like you said. So the joke, one of the jokes in the group, one of the groups that we're in is, my type, what my type is. And I think Jamila is at a picnic one time, saw my type and was like, yeah, you got a type. Like, I don't think I have a type, but I necessarily have a type. But that doesn't mean that the sex is going to be the same with that same type of woman. And so you have to look into yourself and say, well, what makes that? What is there that's awkward about that? And then it goes back to the same thing about just the whole sexuality conversation that we're having about the experience of how you experience attractiveness, is to ask those questions like, well, what is it? Because it could be good reasons why that is awkward. It might you might be this too, or this, or it could be so many different things. So for me, it's I'd rather have the great connection and awkward sex for me.
I think I would agree.
I
I
just
would
eat
rather
that
have
thing and
the.
then go and
I think I personally would rather have
I'm sorry, go ahead.
the. Oh, I think I definitely would rather have the great connection and the awkward sex. I am a very sexual. I'm a Scorpio. Pause like Tyrese. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Um, so I can make sex great. Um, and I'm a teacher. I like to explore. So if you can explore my mind, I can explore your body.
Okay. All
So
right.
I would definitely prefer somebody who can that I can have that intellectual conversation with and the awkward sex because I'll make the sex work.
Yes, I would totally agree on that. Because honestly, even if we're not having sex, well, we're talking as polyamorous people too, so there are different ways. But even if we could not have sex, I mean, there are so many other ways to have sex, right? So, um, give me 1 second. Uh, there are so many ways to have sex. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like I would choose that intimacy every single time. Then sorry. I told you guys I was doing TikTok for the first time, so it's making me do something on screen. But I would totally choose intimacy with awkward sex than the other one because I don't know. Like I want somebody to feel me. Um, I want to feel nourished, not just consumed. So yeah.
I like that
All
statement.
Mm.
I like that statement.
right. Yeah. Thank you. Well, we are coming to the end
That made my
of
epididymis
this.
tingle.
The what? What did you say, Chuck?
Nothing. Go ahead.
You know,
But
we're
go
gonna
ahead.
catch it again because we can rewind. We can go watch it again to catch this, right? So you might as well say it.
I don't want to mess up the flow. They can catch, make them rewatch it again. Make them
Okay,
rewatch it.
then. All right, we'll do that. Um, so we have come to an there's one last question maybe we could address before we go. If you guys have a little time. Did y'all talk there we go. Sleepy said, did y'all talk about platonic partners, aka friends?
In what manner?
I think I want to say from conversations that I've
Yeah.
seen and talking to Sleepy as well, he was saying because people say platonic partners, and some people are like, no, there's no such thing. There are friends and there are partners. That if it's platonic, then it's friends. So maybe that's where he's coming from. The
Yeah.
platonic partners.
I have a
Well,
platonic
we kind
partner.
of talked about it. I kind of talked
Yeah.
about it about. Remember, I talked about later in life I'll probably be living with
Yeah, with those friends. Yeah.
platonic partners around. They may not necessarily be in my inhabited space, but they'll be
Oh, you froze, Chuck. Oh, there you are back now. Yeah, I definitely think there are platonic partners or those partners that we're not having sex with. Okay. That to me, that's
Yeah.
the definition. You you have a partnership with that person. You don't have to have sex. But it's deeper. Like I have one of my connections that I always say basically we are in a relationship even though we're not having sex. He's the kind of person that if he was in a monogamous relationship, his girlfriend would probably say, I don't want you talking to her because you're too close with her. How do you do so many things with this person but you saying that you're not having sex, you're not this, you're not that? So I think those are partnerships. Just because we're not having sex doesn't mean that we're not partners.
Right.
So that's how I always see it.
Yeah, I agree. There are people in my world who I trust with my life and I have absolutely no intention on ever having sex with.
Yeah.
And I would still consider them a partner. Um, they're a safe space. They know that if they're in a relationship, I am the safest person that they could be around because I'm here. My job as this person's partner, because we are platonic, is still to protect them,
Yeah.
love them, cherish them, protect them. At that point that you're not doing that, I got a problem with you. You know,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
that's partnership though.
Yeah.
That's beyond friendship.
Yeah.
Friends hang out a little bit. Friends hang out a lot of bit. Partners can not talk and still understand things that aren't necessarily said.
Yes. Said out loud.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So totally. Well, thank you guys. I feel like this conversation could continue. So we probably will have to come back with part two of the conversation. Um, but thank you for being here. Now is the time to let people know where to find you, your business, anything you would like for them to know about you. Now is your time before we go. If you have a website, please put it in the comments so people can check you out, where to find you on social media so they can follow you. And please remember to follow us, the Poly Pimps, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, like Facebook. Uh, you can follow me personally as well because I'm looking for followers and subscribers and all of it. My music, my salon. I have it all. So it's like it's so many of them, right? The polyamory, the salon, the music. Um, I I do a lot of different things because I need that in my life. I can't be in one little box. So just make sure to follow us and also share this live with a friend who can benefit from the information and to help us out because it costs you nothing to just click share. Thank you. So you guys want to let them know where to find you. Jay, you want to go first?
Okay. So I'm Jamila Clark on Facebook. On Instagram, I am. You can find me on It's on My Nerves.
Uh,
Um, and you can also find me under Manifest Magic University on Instagram. And on TikTok, you can find me on Manifest Magic University as well. I do have a animation series that will be coming out called Conjure. It'll be coming out at the end of this month. Um, Super excited about that. This is what I'm doing in my retirement, giving animation that I wanted to see when I was in my 20s. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So keep an eye out for Conjure. It will be out at the end of the month. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you. We'll definitely make sure to bring you back to talk about Conjure because I am looking forward to seeing what that will be about.
Okay.
Chuck?
Okay, so I really have been taking a hiatus from uh, social media, but it's the science of sex and sexuality on Instagram is SXNSXUALITY. So it's sex and sexuality without the E's. Facebook is the science of sex and sexuality. I haven't been, like I said, have been away, so not really posting a lot. Kind of full plate right now, but you can find me those two places. I'll probably be picking back up in 2026 um, as I'm seeing the need for this. But I just want to say once again, follow. If you want to do me a favor, follow too, because I really appreciate this question and how this went tonight. Definitely looking forward to being part of a part two with with Magic Beast and the Haitian Hottie, yeah, follow them, do what it do, and if you do see us, we're often out in those colleges and trying to get the co-eds, the younger generation to understand because there are a lot of things that went on as far as consent is concerned. Um, that I just don't want the younger generation to have to deal with. We're dealing with issues and distresses of things that happened in past because we didn't have platforms to talk about it so we made mistakes and we just don't want that next generation to make the same mistakes or for those same cycles to keep going. So I just say it like that and always remember to be sexual.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for joining tonight. And we will be back for part two in 2 weeks. We will be back with uh, more content. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Remember to spend time with your loved ones because our time here, we all have an expiration date. So have a great evening and see you back in 2 weeks.